Thanks. Thanks, President Merritt. David, if you relocate to this club, this presentation's for you. I have a deal for you. Kia ora, everybody, on this Maori language week. Apologies, I've been away for quite a period, and I'm about to go away again for a period. And so I'm using this Sergeant session as a hybrid, one to generate not only dollars but support. Every session we meet, we ask for all cell phones to be switched off, and sometimes the evidence is irrefutable that this has occurred. In this case, I'd ask you all as a chance to acknowledge we have all done it and support the individual by donating.
It's wonderful to see you all here today, and as I wrap up, I want to thank Francis Weavers for his vision in bringing this competition into being. Francis heard the then 15-year-old Hadley Frost speak with passion and knowledge about science at a Rotary club in Christchurch. And from that encounter, Eureka was born. Thank you to all who are working today to deliver this symposium, and thank you especially Francis and Hadley.
So it's only fair, really, given what occurred then. Somebody in this room obviously rang as well, and please do contribute to help Francis out. On the table, I've put the quiz sheet. I wonder, it's a hybrid. As I've got into the centennial celebrations, the more I learn, the less I know, but the more reassured I am by this organisation we all belong to called Rotary. And this is the, if you don't know 100% of this, please tip your wallets out and donate it into the tray, into the sunshine box. Okay, who founded Rotary? Full name? Paul Somebody Harris. Okay, keep that thought. And what year was Paul Somebody Harris born? Anybody? Close. 1868. So Paul Percy Harris, born in 1868. First meeting was Chicago. Cool, because that's where Rotary International is based. And in 1905. And he called it Rotary because they rotated what? Their meetings around workplaces. And globally there are how many clubs? 35,000, Jean, yep. And how many members? Yeah, and we all know that because that's what's said at every induction. 35,000 clubs, 1.2 million members. In how many countries and areas? 220 if you include states and territories from it. In New Zealand, we all know there are 6 districts. How many clubs? 260. You're right, Richard. And how many Rotarians across the country? 8,500, yes. And the centennial of Rotary in Australia, New Zealand, and the Pacific is in which year? 2021. And who are the 4 Centurion clubs in the right order?
Wellington, Sydney, Auckland.
Yep, correct. Melbourne, 21st of April 1921, Sydney, 21st of May 1921, Wellington, 7th of June 1921, and Auckland, 13 June 1921. The 2 charitable platforms that we can leverage to leverage off the Rotary International and so on to actually get 1.5 times the level of investment for every dollar. Rotary International is one, but we often do it through 2 different bodies. Yeah, no. Yeah, the Rotary New Zealand World Community Service and Rotary Oceania Zone Operations. The last one, and these are deliberate, Polio Plus was launched by Rotary in 1985, and why did we pick that? Okay, because in 1985 there were 350,000 children paralysed in 125 cases. Rotary Plus has got it down to around about 14 in 2016. We have never eradicated it. It will take us a number of years to do so, but you can see why. And the reason I put that up there is it links, all of these link through. Remember those two bodies, and remember Polio Plus that we've been heavily engaged on with the Gates Foundation to eliminate polio. So if you didn't get 100% out of that, put your hand up if you did. Okay, and it is our second life for some of us, so if you haven't, please contribute, because we do such fantastic work with the money you put in there. Conscious of the time now, I want to talk about the centennial and with the projects that we've got. And first one with Richard here is we've got the forest at the heart of Wellington, 100,000 trees on Mount Vic down, or 100,000 trees we're aiming to plant, 55,000 planted, 45,000 to go. On national projects, Mana Tangata People of Action, the centennial history of Rotary in New Zealand and the Pacific, I'll cover as a slide. Anand started this discussion on redistricting, and since Anand's gone on to the Royal Commission, we've lost track, and I'm going to ask for support to help re-engage in the redistricting discussion. And taking this successful project, we have been thinking about Te Ara of the Long Pathway, taking the forest at the heart of Wellington to a national scale. Idea only this stage without support. I'm after support here because with 1 billion trees, $3 billion in Shane Jones' back pocket, carbon credits and a whole range of things, there's money to be made here if we do it right. And as a Rotary New Zealand, and it's really, if you're in that space and you can help, please think about how we could leverage off this to this, and I'm open for support. We've parked the Akina $1 million Social Enterprise Awards because some people moved away. And we have Rotary Give Every Child a Future, which I have a slide on. And in celebrations, there will be a national exhibition across the country and a whole series of national events. Mana Tangata, which is going to be both a written history and a web online part to celebrate the 100 years of Rotary. So this is not branding those 4 clubs, this is branding Rotary, and we want to leverage it to get membership and everything else across all of Rotary. Interestingly, Mana Tangata started just out here next door in November, and now we've got 7 goals. Steering group appointed, and the patrons are Anand and Bill Boyd. John Mohi, the next district governor, is the chair. Richard and I represent the club. ROS-OPS, Rotary Oceania Zone, one of the 2 charitable arms, is the legal entity we're using. And we have been requested to underwrite it by 125k, though we don't expect to spend that. But you can see the magnitude of that, and Auckland are going to do the same part. Have engaged Dr. Stephen Clark and Claudia Orange and Richard, who else was on your, and Jock Phillips, were on the selection panel to pick Dr. Stephen Clark. Richard, can you give a thumbnail sketch of Stephen?
His major work's a history of the RSA, which is a similar period to Rotary in New Zealand, and a social history, one that looks forward as well.
Thanks. And he's using also the archives from Rotary Down Under, as they hold significant material on Rotary in New Zealand and the Pacific. Promote awareness of the project, build an online digital tool using WikiTiki, and we're looking in 2021 a national exhibition. Already we have the War Memorial in Auckland lined up. We have the National Library here, likely to have Te Papa, and likely to have a roving Rotary show. Now 2021's huge, America's Cup, as well as APEC at the end of the year in Auckland. So 2021 we're planning on a year-long exhibition in some major venues across the country. Rotary Give Every Child a Future. In parts of the Pacific, nearly 1 in 16 children die before their 5th birthday, and we're aiming to stop that. Leveraging off Polio Plus, our project is to protect 100,000 children from rotavirus, pneumococcal and cervical cancer across 9 Pacific countries. We're in partnership with the Asian Development Bank, who should be able to confirm 20 million of the 24 million in October, and UNICEF provide the footprint, knowledge, vaccines and distribution. and the detailed budget I'll publish shortly, but our club's contribution is around about 40,000 a year, 40,000 annually, and we're planning on helping leverage the district designated funds. And just so you know, $2 million US was carried forward from the district designated funds into this financial year. So there is money there if we've got the horsepower to tap it. Rotary International have recognised that this is a potential replacement for Polio Plus, and Christine Hurley, currently in Samoa, is our lead, and I back Christine up. Supported by Ian and Juliet Risley, the past president of Rotary International and Australian Minister for the Pacific, and supported again by Ros Ops, and there is a toolkit established for clubs. So what I'm after is, not only do we need fundraising momentum, and our club is good at ideas but, excuse the expression, shit at fundraising, and we do need people to get behind this and work out how we can do this. Some clubs are really good at fundraising and we are not. So if you've got good ideas how you can fundraise and generate that, please do let Marion or myself know from it, because we do need it to make it successful. If you have time to go on a subcommittee, please do. If you have time to visit other clubs and sell this, please do. And if you can provide any other support, please do. Thank you.